Welcome to this week's edition of Outdoors Online, a weekly webcast produced by the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. I'm your host, Tom Jensen. My guest this week is a very familiar face. Game and Fish Director Terry Steinwan joins us. We're going to talk about a very special weekend that's coming up.
You're right, Tom. Used to be once a year. It's actually now twice a year. We have Free Fishing Weekend. This year it's June 4th and 5th, and I guess I'll focus on that for now. But back in the 1990s, the legislature authorized Game and Fish Department to give free fishing days to North Dakota residents only. And the purpose of that was we didn't have nearly as many lakes at that point in time, probably about 150 to 170 fishing lakes around the state, and to introduce primarily kids, but also adults into the sport of fishing and how much fun it was. Give them a chance to say, do I really like this or not? And hopefully that translates into license sales and a lifelong activity for those individuals.
What would you suggest, Terry, for somebody that, say, has a couple of kids, wants to take them fishing, really doesn't have a clue of where to go or how to do it?
Well, actually, probably the best source of information is on the North Dakota Game and Fish Department website to see where the lakes are. But there's a lot of urban fisheries around the states. In fact, just recently, our fisheries division stocked some catchable fish, primarily trout, in a lot of these urban fisheries, especially smaller towns. Just go to our website. You'll find out where they are.
You mentioned that this is to attract not only kids, but adults that want to get involved in the sport. Are there any restrictions as far as age?
The only restriction is you don't need a license, and everything else in the fishing proclamation or the fishing guide, which is again on the North Dakota Game and Fish Department webpage, just go through that. You have to abide by the limits. You have to abide by the manner of take. Some lakes there are no live bait fish allowed, so you have to abide by that. So anything that's in the proclamation you have to abide by, except you don't need a fishing license June 4th and 5th.
You mentioned urban fisheries, of course, and there are a lot of them scattered around the state, and they have these catchable size northern pike, catfish, trout you mentioned. Can they keep what they catch?
Yeah, they can. And in fact, we encourage, especially these small urban fisheries, they're usually pretty shallow lakes. Trout are a cold water fish. As water temperatures heat up, which they will as the summer progresses in North Dakota, those trout aren't going to make it. So we encourage people to keep those fish, and there's some nice fish in there. And some smaller. I mean, there's all sizes of fish in there. So yeah, keep them.
Just to clarify, Terry, there are a few exceptions to that rule. It is catch and release only at the State Fair Pond in Minot and the Owls Pond at the Game and Fish headquarters in Bismarck, and for trout only at Lightning Lake near Turtle Lake from April 1st through June 30th. What if they don't know how to clean them?
There's an awful lot of resources out on the internet there also. Actually, cleaning fish is not all that difficult. I've been fishing for about 55 years, and I still butcher them from time to time, but they're actually pretty easy.
That's nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, I guess they still eat the same for the most part.
Sure they do.
If you know, and again, if you don't really know how to fix fish, go on the internet. There's an awful lot of good information out there.
All right, or ask a neighbor. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that would be willing to lend a hand, show somebody that doesn't know how to clean a fish.
That's a good point, Tom. We have an awful lot of very avid anglers in the state. All of them know how to clean fish. Just ask some questions, a neighbor, a relative, friend.
All right. Again, Terry, let's give viewers the dates and hours for Free Fishing Weekend.
Well, June 4th and 5th, so get out there and enjoy it. Hopefully the weather cooperates. It hasn't always cooperated. And believe me, the wardens will still be out there. They'll be checking. You won't need a license, but just to make sure you're a North Dakota resident.
All right, Terry, thanks.
Thank you, Tom.
There will be more deer licenses available this year than last. The department is making 49,000 licenses available in the 2016 lottery, which is an increase of 5,725 licenses. Applications are now available for the lottery. You can apply online by logging onto the Game and Fish website at gf.nd.gov. Follow the links, fill out the application, and pay the fee with a credit card. You can also fill out a paper application and send that in. Those are available at licensed vendors and other sporting goods outlets and should be available around mid-May. Or you can apply over the phone by calling 800-406-6409. The deadline to apply for the lottery is Wednesday, June 1st. The 2016 Firearms Deer Season opens November 4th at noon and continues through November 20th. For Director Terry Steinwand and the rest of the staff here at North Dakota Game and Fish, thanks for joining us for Outdoors Online. We'll see you again next week.